How are you guys doing today? We're going to talk about Spider-Man's web shooters. Uh, the original design from the comic book was kind of bulky. I'll show you a side view of it here. This is what it looked like. Large wristband, the compressors to shoot the web shooter, and this is the actual nozzle and the variation of the web designer at the end here. Okay? It was huge. Of course, it was being designed back in the 50s or 60s for Spider-Man, maybe the early 70s. There was a TV series on it, which it was done in the 70s, so bell bottoms on Peter Parker was a little weird. The guy that chose to play Peter Parker was in his early 30s at the time, so it was weird. It was a funny TV show, kind of corny, real cheesy. But anyway, the web shooters. You've seen the comic books, I'm sure of it, you've read them. You've seen the movies, I'm sure you've watched, depending on your age, you've watched the animated series. They've done a lot about Spider-Man. I mean, they've done 5 movies so far, and made variations on the web shooters. The 3 original movies they did with, I don't even remember the guy's name. He looked funny though. The 3 movies they did with him, the webs were created by his body and shot out his wrists. Not how it happened. The ones with Andrew Garfield, however, more realistic. So, let's jump into this, alright? This is the main portion of your web shooter. This is the spinneret nozzles here. This is the adjustment. This is an adjustment. This is how much fluid goes through. And this is which portion is going to be set up first. The open chamber piece here is just a cutaway so you can see the tubing inside. Same with this piece here. This is the web shooter selection. This is the style of web that you're going to be using. The square one, this is your thick web. It's like a cobweb. The small little one here, this is your web line, the one he swings from. The slightly bigger one is the complex web design. Like when you see a spider web and the spider's finished making it, he's sitting in the middle. That's the complex web design. There's a couple more that you can do to it, variations. The main center opening, if you don't select any of these by adjusting this piece, shoots out here. This is the cobweb. That's the web glob that he used to pin the guy's hands to the wall in The Amazing Spider-Man and then shoot him in the balls. That was that one. Alright. This is the size of the web cartridge. It's a 9.1 listing here. Web fluid cartridge over here. Number 9 through here's the web channel. Alright. This is your little casing. Power button. Top piece, which this is your armband. This is where the web shooter sits. These little casings along the side, that's where you hold your web cartridges. And then this is the Velcro strap at the bottom. This is the firing mechanism. Your support plate, this piece here, wires run through here as well, and then this is the activation plate. It's real simple. It's a nice little design. But it's a little complex of a nice little design. Now, for this is, by the way, his blue book. It's just simply a blue book. That's why it's called Project Blue Book. Alright, so the next one, this is a black book. Blue book was the second one. A large blue the 3-ring binder, the blue 3-ring binder was the second one. The blue book is the third one. Black book is the fourth one. The first one was actually just a little book with music notes on it. It was an art book. But it's got so much stuff in it right now. I'm not going to dig through it to pull out any information. Plus, there's nothing in there on Spider-Man. So, Black Book. This one actually gives you a breakdown of everything used to make real spider webs, synthetic spider webs. Scientifically factoid here. I dug through, if you've ever been to the Los Angeles Library, I dug through 3 hours worth of books. On the largest table they had, they were stacked about 8 books high. It's good when you can read 2,000 words per minute, because some of those books were horrendously long-winded and rambled a lot like I'm doing right now. So anyway, I'll give you a quick look at what's going into the making the spider webs. I'll also give you a look at the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movies, variations of the web shooters, and then we'll go on to probably another video. Alright, so here we go. Zeely vinyl alcohol. Polyvinyl alcohol. It's probably the best one used. This is what I was getting off of their picturines. But it's polyvinyl alcohol, graphene, magnesium oxide, foaming agent for 2 liquids is CH3. It's a surfactant. It's actually called surfactants. You can get them at chemistry stores. You can get all this stuff at a chemistry store. Carbon. This is a CO2 cartridge. Oxygen, which you don't need because when the finished ingredients touch the air, they start to become solidified, which makes your webbing. Water, H2O. You could also use hydrogen peroxide. It's up to you. Nitrogen, not really necessary. Not really healthy. But yeah, that's all you need. I'll get to the measurements shortly. So, the Amazing Spider-Man, this is the first one. It's a complex design. It's got a lot of little magnetized batteries. There's about 6 of them here. Underneath of these are the solenoids. There's actually 6 of them. There's 3 on this side and 3 on this side. Your web cartridge goes into the back here. This is the web tunnel. It's fluid tunnel. And this is your spinnerets. Spit the right word out. Your spinnerets at the tip. See that? There's a main hole, and then there's 3 smaller ones around it. There's actually 3 to 4 here. They're all Teflon coated. The inside of the web cartridges, Teflon coated. The inside of the tubing tunnel and the main portion here of the spinneret valve, Teflon coated. There's a side view of it, web cartridge, solenoids, batteries, spinnerets. This is the actual size of the web shooter. I'll show you my wrist. That's it. That's all it is. The bigger your wrist, the smaller that's going to look. But yeah. According to what you need for this, the polyvinyl alcohol is 30 milliliters. That's 50% of your webbing. Graphene, 5.5 milliliters. That's 10%. Magnesium oxide, 5.5 milliliters. Another 10%. Your surfactants, 5.5. Another 10%. Your water, or if you want to use hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol, that's up to you. It's 20 milliliters. That's 15%. Now, if you're doing the math, there's 80, there's 95, and then this lovely little thing, cryanoacrylate. It's actually methyl cryanoacrylate. It's 5%. That gives you a 100% solution for your web fluid. Real simple, real easy. Scientifically discovered. There are actually scientists at MIT, I believe University of California, Berkeley, and a couple of Midwest colleges working on this stuff, trying to perfect it so that the web shooters will actually work. They're thinking of using it for military use and law enforcement to actually get up and down buildings and stuff, and to rappel out of helicopters without taking heavy roping and stuff. The only problem with rappelling up a building, you have to climb. And if you've seen anything on military, they usually carry 100 pounds in their pack, plus about 80 pounds worth of clothing, their weapons, and extra ammunition. They got like 200 pounds worth of stuff on them. So hauling yourself up the side of a mountain or the side of a building by your hands, not a good idea. Grapple guns have been around for for about 20 years, 30 years now. That's what they use. Rappel guns, they carry about 250 to 450, maybe even 500 pounds worth of weight on top of them, on top of the mechanism itself, but it's rather large. But anyway, that's that piece. Now, here's the three different designs from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. This was the first one they were thinking of using. Kind of skimpy. This is the second one. It's a little bit bulkier. This is the third one. I actually like this design. It fits 2 cartridges in the back here. Your firing mechanism is actually a little bit more toned, so it doesn't fire miscellaneously by pressing one thing. You have to actually press both triggers, and they're offset, so they fit in the palm of your hand at the angle of your hand when it's bent. When you bend your hand to trigger those, like so, or like so, however more is comfortable for you, it actually bends those into a spot where you can touch them both at the same time. And then the mechanism for the spinnerets was designed like so. This one spins clockwise, this one spins clockwise, this one spins clockwise. The square ones spin counterclockwise. The center one spins both clockwise and counterclockwise, depending on what you're using. So, that's the web shooters. That's all there is on the web shooters. So, we're at 12 minutes now. We're going to do another video. Have fun.